Okay, so Frito-Lay is doing this flavor swap campaign. I don't know, there's 3 new flavors, new in that their configuration is new, and rather than explaining, I'll just show you. We've got, well, here they are. So there's 3 flavors that are out here, and they've got like influencer YouTube people on the bags. I don't know if they really came up with this or if they just, you know, put them on the bag. I'm not too sure. But anyway, the flavors are Ruffles, but they are flavored like Cool Ranch Doritos. Cheetos, which are flavored like Sweet Southern Heat Barbecue Lay's. I didn't know that was a specific Lay's flavor. I know they just have barbecue, but anyway. And then flavor swap of so they're Doritos, but they're flavored like Ruffles, sour cream, and cheddar. So we're going to try all 3 and see what I think. All right, so we're just going to try them, and just off the top of my head, and the ones I'm most excited to try are the sour cream and cheddar Doritos, just because I like sour cream and cheddar chips. It's not too groundbreaking, you know, it's just a different type of chip. It's gonna, you know, the texture will be different. I think Doritos are a little bit thicker, but it's my favorite of the flavors, so I'm hoping that's gonna be, you know, pretty good. I'm kind of less impressed with the Cool Ranch, just because I think I've seen Cool Ranch done a lot lately. Like, I see it all over the place. So just being like, oh, we put more, you know, they just recently did it with other chips and stuff like that. Plus Taco Bell's always doing something with Cool Ranch and whatnot. So it just seems like overdone. Like, oh, Cool Ranch, you know, again. So, I mean, I hope they're good. But again, I'm just been there, done that. And then for, you know, it's like, I think they've done barbecue flavored Doritos in the past. And I don't know if they've, I know I've seen them a lot when they're like, there's like Korean or Japanese Cheetos, and those have had just barbecue. And I think there's been like cheesy, spicy barbecue limited edition ones here in the States. So this, I guess this is the newest of them. But to me, again, it's just kind of like, oh, it's just barbecue. But again, that's not the point. We're not here for new flavors at JT. No, we are only here for the swapping of the flavors. So we're going to go with least to worst. I don't know. Gonna save up the hype. So we're gonna go Cool Ranch, barbecue, and then cheddar. So, and we're gonna look at, again, if you're interested, who's on the bag. So we're gonna start with the Cool Ranch Doritos Ruffles. Their influencer of choice is Dude Perfect. I think they do those like trick shot videos and stuff online. A little line on the back. Who knows if they actually wrote it? Welcome to Flavor Swap. We added Doritos Cool Ranch flavor to Ruffles and created the perfect chip. It's a behind the back, no lick snack. You gotta try. Gotta. I'm sure they wrote that. But okay. I think this is funny. Speaking of Doritos and whatnot here, not too many weeks ago, I just got done doing the naked chips, and they make a big deal of like, oh, we've taken away the artificial flavors and the colors and additives and stuff like that. And I wonder, is this part of that now? Because they certainly aren't advertising it. But it's funny that on one side they're like, here's our chips with nothing on it, and then here's another chips with everything on it. It's just a little, you know, interesting thing that I noticed. There we go. I mean, it looks like a, yeah, Ruffles. It just smells like a bag of Ruffles. It doesn't smell like Cool Ranch Doritos. And they're not blue, right? They just got this flavoring on it, I'm assuming. But all right, so let's see if it tastes like Cool Ranch. Yep, I mean, they know what Cool Ranch is. It's sprinkled on everything. I want another one just because it's good, but you know, I don't. That tastes like Cool Ranch, but the texture is different. You know, some Ruffles have ridges. as one knows, and it tastes a little different. So if texture has always been your thing, this might be the magical day for you. It does taste more like a Cool Ranch potato chip versus just like a Cool Ranch Dorito. I don't know if the Doritos tortilla chips inherently have less flavor or something, so that the flavor might stand out more on a Dorito. But for the Ruffles, it does taste like a potato, like a it's a potato chip that has ranch flavor on it. So it does taste like a potato chip. I don't remember tasting like a tortilla chip for the Doritos, if you're trying to get what I'm saying. There's more of a potato flavor mixed in with the Cool Ranch than just a bunch of like ranch flavored powder, and that's it. So it, as advertised, tastes like a ranch Ruffles. Moving on to Flavor Swap Sweet Southern Heat Barbecue Lay's Madison Beer. I believe she's a singer of sorts. She might be on YouTube. Everybody's nowadays, am I right? But her little quote is, Lay's Sweet Southern Heat Barbecue Flavor on Crunchy Cheetos. The perfect tour snack. So good. In bold. So, alright. A little water here. And again, so the naked ones, it's not like they're doing that for all Cheetos now, because these are clearly still very dark orange Cheetos. So it's not like they're all going to be white moving forward. That's not the case. And that looks like a Cheeto with some like black specks on it. Not necessarily pepper. Probably be whatever. Well, it might be because it's Southern Heat. Maybe that's the spice, but okay. Not much barbecue flavor on that. I'm gonna try a couple more here. I got no heat either. All right. Okay. I was just about to say, no spice, barely any flavor, and still, the whatever barbecue flavor is, and it's more like kind of like a sweet, like barbecue sauce flavor than just like, because barbecue chips, it's a little bit different than like barbecue sauce. It just tastes almost like barbecue sauce, but it's very, very subtle. Like, it's not even like, it's not like cheesy. Like normal Cheetos are. It has a texture of crunchy Cheetos, but it almost just kind of tastes like barely like barbecue. Like barbecue flavored chips, like thinking of Ruffles and whatnot here, that's a very distinct like barbecue flavored chip. And that's what I thought it was going to taste like. It says Lay's right there on the bag. But it doesn't. It almost just tastes like a weak Cheeto with a little bit of sweetness on it. And I was about to say there's also no heat. Up until right when I was done, and I swallowed, there's the slightest kind of like a little bit of a tingle there for any sort of like spice or heat. But these are not flaming hot Cheetos by any means. So they're not really, sweet Southern Heat barbecue. There's a lot of nouns and adjectives and stuff here. So it's if it's anything, it's sweet. I don't know how southern it is, but there's barely any heat, and there's like slightest bit of barbecue. So this is like a very subtle, sweet barbecue sauce flavored Cheeto, but it doesn't taste like barbecue meat. Yeah, it's not implying that there's like a meat. There are barbecue chicken flavored Cheetos and stuff like that. There's a lot of Asian ones. There's a lot of barbecue. They mean like grilled meats and chickens and stuff. Not here. This is barbecue sauce flavored. With the tiniest bit of spice right as you swallow, but not spicy. It'd be like a 1. I already put it on a scale. So if you're sensitive to spice, don't worry about it. You're not. Madison Beer has got you covered in that respect. So, last but not least, the sour cream and cheddar Doritos. Get another water here. Not that there was much flavor on those to get in the way potentially, but our YouTuber here is, where is he? Yeah, Speed on I Show Speed. I know he's on Twitch, probably on YouTube too. Sure. But my favorite quote. Hey chat, this flavor swap is a W. I'm swapping the Ruffles cheddar and sour cream flavor with Doritos Bold Crunch. Open a bag, you'll see. There he is. And again, that's what I'm expecting it to be. Hopefully, I like the sour cream and cheddar flavor, and I like the kind of crispiness of Doritos too. They're kind of flat and And now that I was talking earlier about how the Doritos also has a lot of the tomato, the chippy potato flavor on the Ruffles, and Doritos didn't really have that. So if this is the case, there will be less potato flavor and just that much more sour cream and cheddar flavor. So I think that's the case. In like 5 seconds, I will find out. These just look like nacho cheese Doritos. They don't really smell like a bag of nacho cheese Doritos, probably because they're not. But I don't think they smell like a bag of sour cream and cheddar chips either. It kind of smell like a warehouse. It smells, I smell like cardboard, like a moving supplies section of a Home Depot or something. Which is a weird thing to have, coming out of your bag of chips, but it's not why we're here. We're here for the flavor swap, not the scent swap or anything like that. So here we go. Sour cream and cheddar chips. All right, so unfortunately, the flavor is not as strong on these as they are on a normal bag of sour cream and cheddar chips. Like the kind of initial, like sour cream is a pretty strong, sour cream and cheddar to me is a pretty strong flavor. Not quite on the level of like salt and vinegar or something where it's like melting in your mouth as you eat them. But it's still like a pretty intense flavor. But this is, it was all kind of muted, and I did taste more of like a tortilla chip flavor. So both of these have kind of got the same thing going on in that you taste more of the like underlying chip. Like this tasted more like potato chips with some ranch on it, and this tasted a lot more like than just a tortilla chip with some sour cream and cheddar flavor to it, but it was not the same as the regular Ruffles. So in any of these cases, I like the original better. So I would thought if the flavor was just as strong, I've got no problem with the texture and whatever, the crunch, as Speed puts it, of the Doritos chips themselves. I eat Doritos all the time. But just the way all of these have ended up being, none of these flavors really stand out as better than the other version was. Like if it was as strong in the same flavor, just a different texture and way of eating it, that probably would have been fine, would just have been fun and whatnot here. But, and to recap, going back in order, so these tasted, very much initially like the Cool Ranch, but it had a stronger potato chip flavor to it, and it's the sensation of a kind of a crispy, ruffly chip. Out of all of these three, I would say this is probably the best of them. The sweet Southern Heat barbecue Cheetos barely tasted like barbecue sauce, just a little teeny tiny bit of sweetness, and then like the slightest heat spice indication when you swallow. But these do not taste like regular barbecue flavored chips or what I remember like other barbecue Cheetos tasting like in the past. This is the weakest flavor, not in terms of like out of the three, it's the weakest flavor, like it's my least favorite, but it is, but that's beside the point. In terms of the strength of the flavoring on the chip, this one tasted the most like nothing comparatively. At least these ones were probably the strongest. I initially tasted that ranch right away, but then it kind of blended in more with the chippiness. And then the Ruffles, the sour cream and cheddar, the flavor was there, but it wasn't as intense or strong as I remember it being on the chips themselves. And but being on a Dorito is fine. It's just, this is not as cheesy or intense of a flavor as your nacho cheese Doritos are. So, which is unfortunate because nacho cheese, sour cream and cheddar Ruffles are probably one of my favorite Ruffles flavors. So maybe in the future I'll just real quick grab a little bag of those to compare them. But I'm pretty sure in my mind, my memory, I like those a lot more than I like these. No disrespect to Speed or anybody else out there. Again, I'll just put them on the bag. I don't think they were pinging people and being like, hey, what's your idea for a flavor swap, like a little industry insider contest. Cool if they did, I just don't really think they did. So if I had to say, try these, even though, yeah, it's Cool Ranch, they've done it time and time before. Maybe they've gotten good at it because this was the best of the three. This was good, just not as good as I was hoping for, and doesn't taste as strong as the original Ruffles do. And then these don't really taste too much like much of anything. It's very, very, very muted. Just a different way to eat some sort of Cheetos. So, and they're not white, so they're gonna get your hands all orange again and stuff. So there you have it. The flavor swap, line, all of them were kind of a little bit disappointed in their own magical little way. So don't worry if you can't find these. I'm trying to here we go, find the window here. Don't worry if you can't find them. I don't think they're all that great. You're not missing out if you don't, unless you really want to show your love for your YouTuber of choice. Hint, hint, wink, wink, if you know what I mean. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and see you soon.